Good morning, Facebook family. Well, today is January the 2nd of 2020, and we were talking about the Oola wheel and getting our life kind of in perspective for 2020. Again, I am not a big resolutions person because I find that I just can't, meet those. So I'm looking at different goals. I'm looking at different ways to plan and to strategize how my year is going to be. So in our last video, we talked a little bit about Oola fitness. And remember, it's not about fitness per se as far as exercise. It's more about fitness of our mind, our body, our spirit, all the things that make us who we are. So a win that I've had already for the Oola fitness, I've set a couple of goals for this year. So I gave up coffee at the end of last year because I know it's not good for my body and I don't feel good. And so that's going incredibly well. And my goal for this year, actually, I know that I shouldn't eat gluten in bread because it makes me feel yucky. And so yesterday, my goal was to not eat it at all. And so I was very successful with that. And so I feel good about that. But I take it day by day because you know what? I'm going to have good days and I'm going to have bad days. So I hope you've looked at the questions for Oola Fitness. Today I want to talk a little bit about Oola Finance and also maybe branch into Oola Family. But did you know that there are essential oils that go with each one of these 7 spokes of our wheel? And so these are actually super cool. They were created with the Oola guys as well as Gary Young from Young Living. And so I find that these have been super helpful because they help to get my mind in the right place. They help me set intentions. And when we use multi-sensory experiences, that tends to help our bodies and our minds remember kind of what we're working on. So if I were to use Oola Finance today, I would put a drop of this in my hand. I would rub my hands together and I would breathe that in, and that would get my mind in a place of Oola Finance and money goals. The other really cool thing is that there is a little booklet that you can get with the Infuse 7. And so the affirmation that goes with finance is, I am financially free and living abundantly. So we manage and balance our finances and be free of debt. Be a good steward of the money entrusted to us. Debt is not compatible with the Oola life, and it's a major stressor in many people's lives. So how do we tackle that? How do we tackle our finances? Chris and I have been together for 30 years, which is an incredibly long time in this day and age. We've moved to a very expensive community in Canada and in BC. And so we've had to work really hard at our finances. And, both you and your spouse kind of need to be on the same page, but it doesn't need to be hard. So if you're looking at tackling some of the financial issues in your family, first of all, I encourage you to take the quiz. And if I haven't sent you these amazing little forms yet, shoot me a message and I can definitely do that. So you can look at where you are. Because remember, like Google Maps, we need to find out where our blue dot is so that we can actually put in our destination for the end of the year and know what we're working on. So today, the questions for Oola Finance. Again, you're rating from 1 to 10. I would rate my current personal finances as 1 to 10. I am saving at least 10% of every dollar to make for non-retirement purchases. I am completely debt-free except for my mortgage. My monthly income exceeds my monthly expenses. I'm investing at least 15% for retirement. I have an emergency account equaling at least 7 months of expenses. Now, I know that sounds super huge and overwhelming and daunting, but there's a strategy and a plan for that, so don't worry too much. I have proper insurance, which means health insurance, life insurance, property insurance. I give my money generously with no expectations of anything in return. I have a complete and up-to-date will, and I have a solid budget and stick to it every month. So how do I personally tackle finances? Well, at some point a few years back, I actually wrote down a list of all of the places where we owed money. And you kind of look at that list at first and you're like, wow, there's so many things. And so then what I did was I actually tackled the smallest one first. So every month, if there was a little bit of money left over, I would put that onto that smallest part of debt. I read today that somebody suggested that if you go grocery shopping and say you spend $114, you round it up to the next zero, so that would make it $120. So you would take that $6 and put it into either an account or put it toward one of your financial obligations. And so those small monthly contributions, or those, little bits of money that maybe you're not going to notice, will quickly wear away that debt. And so that's kind of what we did. And we tackled the smallest one first and we worked our way up. And so now, other than our mortgage, we are actually debt free, which feels amazing. And so when I go shopping, I don't need to worry, can I afford this? Or, that kind of thing. I also try and pay cash. We don't use credit cards very much anymore unless we have to. And then if I do, because I love shopping at a grocery store where we get points. And so if I charge something to my credit card, then I immediately make a payment to that credit card, even while I'm sitting in the car. So those are some strategies that I use for Oola Finance. The other one I wanted to just talk about briefly today, because finances often will impact your family. And so that's why we're looking at the family spoke today as well. And so sometimes when we have a family, we want to do activities, but we think they need to cost money. But are there ways in which you can impact and have fun and experiences with your family that don't? So that's something to think about for the next video coming up, is our family. And also let's think about too the people that are in our family. Are they good for us? Are they bad for us? And how can we deal with some of those situations? So I hope you're having a great second day of January. Again, let's plan and work together so that we can achieve the best life for you possible. Remember to be grateful, have faith, and together we can go get your Oola life. Have a great day.